You all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mr. D'Adriano?
Here.
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Ms. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here. Counselor, could you read the first public hearing notice?
Public notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York will hold a public hearing in consideration of contracting with the Patterson Fire Department Number 1 to provide fire protection, rescue, and first aid services, collectively referred to herein as fire protection services, in all or a portion of the Patterson Fire Protection District, as shown on the fire map filed in the office of the Putnam County Clerk as filed map number 793. Said public hearing will be held at the Patterson Town Hall, 1142 Route 311, Patterson, New York, on January 13, 2021 at 7:00 p.m. in the evening of that day, or as soon thereafter as may be held, at which time all persons interested herein shall be heard. For such services, the Patterson Fire Department Number 1, Inc. shall receive the yearly sum of $865,160. The contract shall run for 1 year from January 1, 2021, and shall expire on December 31, 2021. A copy of the proposed contract may be obtained from the town clerk at the address below.
Thank you. Do we have any member of the public joining us via Zoom that has any comments on this or any questions?
Did someone unmute themselves?
If you could just unmute yourself.
We got 5 people there, nobody's unmuting.
Okay. Does any member of the public here tonight wish to have anything to say on this contract? Hearing none, could I get a motion to adjourn, motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would you like to do the second notice?
Public notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York will hold a public hearing in consideration of contracting with the Putnam Lake Fire Department to provide fire protection, rescue, and first aid services, collectively referred to herein as fire protection services, in all or a portion of the Patterson Fire Protection District, as shown on the fire map filed in the office of the Putnam County Clerk as filed map number 793. Said public hearing will be held at the Patterson Town Hall, 1142 Route 311, Patterson, New York, on January 13, 2021 at 7:00 p.m. in the evening of that day, or as soon thereafter as may be held, at which time all persons interested herein shall be heard. For such services, the Putnam Lake Fire Department shall receive the yearly sum of $441,600. The contract shall run for 1 year from January 1, 2021, and shall expire on December 31, 2021. A copy of the proposed contract may be obtained from the town clerk at the address below.
Again, I wish anybody joining us on Zoom tonight, if you would unmute yourself. We have somebody?
Did you wash it or not?
No, I didn't watch it. It has to be watched.
Somebody unmuted themselves.
Yes, I did this one.
This is Stacy Jubal, just on to listen.
Does any member of the public have any comments on this contract or the public hearing?
No.
They've unmuted, but they don't have any questions.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, can somebody like to do the reports?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the code compliance report for December, code enforcement for December, code control officer for December, the ECI for October, November, and December, the Putnam Lake Fire Department 2020 report, the Patterson Recreation October, November, and December report. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to make a motion on the supervisor's report?
Make a motion to approve and file the supervisory report for November. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to make a motion on the minutes?
I will move that we approve the town board meeting minutes of December 9th, 2020, and the organizational meeting minutes of December 30th, 2020. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to audit some bills?
I'd like to make a motion to approve abstract number 24 dated December 28th, 2020, the amount of $176,500.86. I'm sorry, $176,500.86. So moved.
No, 600.
600? Okay, I'm sorry. $176,600.86. Got it. So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I believe we have a budget transfer tonight.
Yes, we do. Budget request number 35 dated December 31st, 2020. The following budget adjustment is necessary to allocate funds to the highway machinery, equipment, and capital outlay account for the purchase of the grade oil. Moving funds, increasing funds in the appropriated fund balance and for sale of equipment in a total amount of $258,976, and increasing machinery, equipment, and capital outlay expense account by $258,976. I'll make a motion that the town board approve budget adjustment request number 35. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Smith, you're up.
Yes, first item on my agenda is the employee evaluations. Just like to give everyone an update that right now, we're almost in the final stages. We are in the final stages of developing the employee evaluation. I think that by the next meeting, we'll be able to approve and put into motion a performance evaluation criteria to appraise the employees' work, their good work, and identify their areas where they would need improvement. So that's just a quick update on that. Refund, we have a refund request from a Michael and Giuseppina Burdick on McManus Road. Apparently they've filed an $500 application fee, and they're requesting that we consider refunding this application fee as they've decided to not follow through with the work. So I'd just like to table this at the moment and request from the building department, Mr. McCarthy, that he give us a recommendation based on how much time and effort the building department has already put into this.
Okay, if I can jump in here,
Yep.
this has nothing to do with the building department. This is an application for subdivision approval before the planning board. Planning board did an initial
Okay.
concept review, which generally we don't charge applicants for.
Okay,
They've never done a site walk. It was talked at briefly at a meeting for about 15 minutes. That's the total sum.
okay. All right, so then I'll retract what I just said. And I think in all fairness, then I would like to make a motion to approve the $500 application fee for the refund of, sorry, just wanted to see, for the refund of the subdivision plans that they have now retracted to Mr. Michael and Mrs. Giuseppina Burdick. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have some new fire department members. So I'd like to welcome and thank them for putting in their time. I'd like to make a motion to approve Ethan Ham, Landon Shelley, Logan Shelley, and Michelle Tucker to the Putnam Lake Fire Department. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Peter?
First item I have on my agenda is the A1CS contract. So this is a contract for our off-site backup, data backup. The fee is $300 per month. So I'd like to make a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the contract with A1CS. Is for a year? Yeah, for a year.
For you.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second item I have is adjustment to our EMS rates for this year. So we had received a memo from our EMS administrator. Wait till the train goes by. Our EMS administrator requested, sent an email to us, memo to us requesting to raise and to adjust some of the EMS fees that are charged when people are transported. It was also the discussion, they had a discussion with Patricia Brooks, our controller, to discuss the fees and to work out a good fee schedule. So we have a memo from our town controller, Ms. Brooks, with her recommendations for the fees for the adjustments. So some of the adjustments would be RMA, which is refused medical assistance. That means that they were treated with no transport. So the ambulance arrives and the person says, I don't want to go to the hospital. They sign a release and they don't go to the hospital. So our original fee was $150 for that. And the controller's request is to reduce that to $100. And then also with the Medicare patients, that would be, they would be charged $50. Okay, the Medicare gives $50 per person. So if we reduced it down to $100, no?
Medicare doesn't pay for it at all.
Oh, Medicare, okay, Medicare
But
doesn't
if
pay.
they have Medicare, then they would get an allowance of $50, so the patient will only pay $50.
Okay, so they don't pay it, but the patient gets the $50 benefit. Okay, and then Medicaid, they would receive $100, so it wouldn't cost them anything at all.
No, Medicaid, we don't get anything from Medicaid.
Right, so it wouldn't cost them at all. So I know most of the RMAs are elderly people or elderly residents who fall, and maybe, the ambulance shows up and they're fine and they're just, helped out in bed, $150 is a lot of money, for them.
Yes. Absolutely.
These days, I'd rather have them pay $150 to put food in the refrigerator than, have to pay us. So, BLS, we charge $850 for BLS, basic life support transport. The request is to raise it up to $950. And ALS, which is advanced life support, is currently $1,300. It's requested to raise it to $1,450. And the mileage rate is currently $18, raised to $20. And the reason for those increases, these were fees we set when we started back in 2017. And, over the years, everything has gone up. We've been paying our EMTs more, and, price, everything has gone up, especially with PPE, with the pandemic. I know, I was talking to Denise today, our EMS administrator. She was telling us how much, she's paying now for PPE to protect our EMS workers. So everything has gone up. So I think we need to adjust our rates up. And, so the people that are using the benefit of the ambulance are paying a little bit more, and we're taking the burden off the taxpayers that aren't using the service. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the fee schedule that our town controller has presented in the memo. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next I have another request from EMS. So we have a memo from our EMS administrator. I'll read it. This letter is to request the reimbursement, the application fee charged with the county application to all EMTs hired by the town of Patterson. Currently, the county is charging $20 for EMTs to apply for a position in our town service. Many EMTs are working 2 to 3 jobs just to make ends meet, and they cannot afford to pay this fee. I do not want our fee to be a financial strain on individuals, nor do I want it to discourage great EMTs from applying. I would like this policy to go into effect immediately, but not retroactive. So I understand, it is, $20 to apply to get a job, but my feeling is that if you want a job, I know some civil service jobs, the application fees are $30, $50 to get a job. So I think it's kind of like a little investment if you're trying to get a job as an EMT, the town, you pay the $20 fee to get a job. So I wouldn't be in favor of doing this. Anybody else?
I would agree with you, and I think as a matter of fairness, I mean, we have people taking the tests, the civil service test all the time, looking, to get a job or to advance themselves in other positions. We would then have to start trying to figure out how we're gonna do that. And, we compensate somebody $20 for taking the test, and then they, take the test, score high enough, and
Go work for
end
someone
up
else.
working for somebody else.
Yeah.
So I think this would be a bad precedent. If
I
we were
agree.
gonna somehow help the EMTs out, I think there are other better ways we can do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Agree.
I agree.
All right, that is all I have.
Charles?
Okay. Next, we have the Association of Towns, which the town belongs to, is having its annual meeting in February. The town has always provided a delegate to this annual meeting, according to different business activities that go on. And as in the past, Mary Delanoy, our receiver of taxes, has been our delegate, and she has agreed to be the delegate again this year. So I will make a motion that the town board approve Mary as the town delegate to the Association of Towns meeting in February of 2021. So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
It's going to be on Zoom, right? It's not going to be.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's virtual.
So there's no mileage fee or anything?
Nope.
Next, we have the Putnam Lake Park District Advisory Board meetings for 2021. The regular meetings will be held at the Veterans Foreign Wars Post on Fairfield Drive. They have work sessions as needed, will be held at the New Life Christian Church at Marshall Court in Patterson. Meetings start promptly at 7 p.m. This is just to advise people. This notice is on the website.
It should be on the website.
It
Okay.
is.
It should be on the website. If it's not, we'll get it on the website, listing all the dates, both for the regular meetings and the work session.
And they're basically the first Thursday of each month. The regular meetings are public,
Right.
correct? And the work sessions, I don't believe are public, right?
Everything has to be
Everything's
public.
public, okay.
That's always a misnomer that, you can have work session exclude people. You can't.
The work session follows the regular meeting by 2 weeks. So. All right. Next, we have disposable of assets from the Highway Department. And what we have is a 2018 grade all that Vantage Equipment has offered as a trade-in value of $21,000. I'm sorry. Let me read this. The Highway Department recently purchased a new 2018 grade all from Vantage Equipment. It was offered as a trade value of $21,000 for the department's 2006 grade all that is no longer needed. So we have a resolution that covers all of this, and I would like to make a motion that the town board approve this resolution as read, approve this resolution and enter it into the record as read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Rogan?
Okay, first item we have relates to our ongoing upgrades for the computers for the workers in town hall. This is essentially just keeping up to speed and making sure that we maintain continuity of operations for all the important work that we do in town hall. So our town supervisor has gotten a quote and is requesting that we approve the purchase of computers in the amount of $4,964.50 for Dell Optiplex computer. So I'll make a motion. We approve that request. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second item is our garbage district number 1 sanitation bids. We received bids a while back, and we've discussed this not only amongst ourselves, but with council. And what we have here is the Patterson Town Clerk advertised for bids for residential and recyclable collection services for Town Garbage District number 1 for 1, 3, and 5-year terms. On December 23rd, the bids were publicly opened and read aloud. Whereas Suburban Carting Company has submitted a bid of $1,809 per unit over the term of a 5-year contract, which equates to $361.80 per unit per year and $70,500 for bulk pickup for a 5-year period. Whereas Suburban Carting Company has submitted the lowest bid for the residential and recyclable collection services using the manual collection method and including bulk pickup for Town Garbage District number 1 for a 5-year contract. Now therefore be it resolved that Town Board of Town of Patterson hereby accepts the bid proposal of Suburban Carting Company for residential and recyclable pickup services using the manual collection method and including bulk pickup for Town Garbage District number 1 for a 5-year contract. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Patterson hereby authorizes and directs the town supervisor to execute and any and all documents in a form satisfactory to the town attorney, and to take any and all necessary steps or appropriate actions to give effect to the resolution. So I will make a motion to approve this resolution as I've just read it and enter it into the record as though read in its entirety. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Pat? In about 5 years.
Yes, been 5 years. I'm back.
Oh, hey, Pat. I've heard your name, but I've never seen your
problem.
face. How are you?
So I'm coming here tonight to discuss, well, make comments based on that. The bid opening was not $70,000 for a 5-year period. Bid opening was $70,000 per year in Suburban's bid. It was changed after the bids were already open to become a lower contract price. If you get the bid package, you'll see that Suburban bid $70,000 per year. And it was changed for them to become the lowest bidder.
Respectfully, I disagree with you. I, vetted all the bids after the fact. I did contact you and discuss your bid with you. I also contacted Suburban and I discussed their bid, and their bid was $70,000. And if you look at all their numbers, when it came to the 3-year number, they gave you the total for the 3-year bid, the total for the 5-year bid on garbage collection as well as bulk pickup. And I did confirm that with Suburban.
I understand that, not to be argumentative, but that section specifically said per year in the bid documents. And also the form that was given to the bidders after the bid opening with the breakdown also describes per year on the paperwork that was filled out by the town when it was handed to the bidders that were at the bid opening. So the fact that a bid document and a price was changed after the fact makes somebody a lower bidder than somebody else is in my eyes an extremely a bad precedent to set, and an extremely disservice to bidders and to the town itself. It's going to put you in a very bad position because it's going to open you up to lawsuits changing a bid after they're already open. So that's my comments for tonight. Thank you.
Counselor, you want to address any of that, or?
But it seems that this was just a clerical error, if anything, on the part of if it's consistent throughout the document. It sounds like, if anything, there might have been an ambiguity in the way that it was written. But the documents as presented, Suburban is the lowest bidder on a 5-year contract.
Okay. Can I ask for a roll call vote?
Sure. Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Mr. D'Andriano?
Aye.
Mr. Rogan?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes, motion carries. Sorry, Pat.
I saw it. Okay, the next item I have is relating to a piece of property in Putnam Lake, 8 Sharon Road. We were contacted a while back by a neighboring property owner who was very concerned that town-owned property had trees that he felt threatened the safety of his residents and his family's safety. When we looked into it, we found that it was property that the town of Patterson acquired some years ago from the county. As you know, many of the properties that we get, we look at for possible use for stormwater improvements in the MS4 program. When I spoke with the town supervisor, we had looked at the property and realized that because of the steep slopes and because of the stormwater plans for that area, that it wasn't necessary to maintain this lot. So we spoke with the owner and we spoke with the county about the possibility of selling this property to the neighboring property owner as a deed restricted parcel for essentially transferring property that would be for nothing more than privacy and to allow this owner to take down the trees at their own expense, because obviously the town isn't going to go taking, these are quite expensive propositions we're talking about to take down these trees. So where we're at right now is the county has agreed that if the town no longer needs these properties or intends to use them for the MS4 program for stormwater, that we can pass a resolution that in essence says and codifies that we do not intend to use the properties for this. And then the county will take an action to allow the property to be sold to a neighboring owner, or any owner for that matter, any resident. These properties would be deed restricted. That means they have no future buildability. They are almost like a conservation land. We think of these in some of the subdivisions that we've done, Charlie, where we have development rights that have been sold. In essence, that's the same with these lots. There are no development rights. So these are strictly, I can't imagine anybody buying them unless you adjoined the property, because other than that, they're not, we wouldn't allow people to build structures or anything else. So that is in essence what we're talking about. We have reconfirmed with some neighboring property owners that that is what would suit them very nicely, is to be able, if appropriate, to be able to get these properties. So we have a resolution that speaks to that. In essence, it says that back in 2005, the Putnam County Legislature adopted a resolution number 319 of 2005, which authorized the transfer to the town of Patterson for the purposes of stormwater protection. We, as I mentioned, no longer believe that these lots are feasible for that. And so via this resolution, we are stating that we are in favor of the reallocation of these lots to lot 55 and lot 56 specifically to a private entity. Now, where's the benefit? The benefit is that this land would be reassessed as conservation land, so it's not the same as building land, but it would go back on the tax rolls, and we, the community, would get some benefit, albeit small, but some benefit in that this portion of the property would go back on the tax rolls. So that's really what it's about. So I'll make a motion for the resolution to be entered into the record as though read. So moved.
Second.
Approved.
Discussion. I just want to reinforce what Sean has been saying, and that's the primary purpose about de-restricting the land is to protect the Putnam Lake watershed. One of the things that the lake is suffering from is overdevelopment out there. The constant increase in impervious surface is really taking its toll on the lake. This will ensure that this land will stay forever green. We'll be able to hydrologically absorb all the stormwater runoff that's coming down on it, rather than seeing new impervious surface out there, which further, hurts the lake out there. So that's really the intent of the deed restriction.
Absolutely.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Thank you.
All right. First on my agenda is a request for a street light. We were contacted by a property owner. Actually, NYSEG was contacted by a property owner asking to have a street light reinstalled that was there prior to the storm. The 2018 storm. Unfortunately, neither NYSEG nor the town has any record of a light being there. So we would have to consider this a new street light. Typically, the process for doing a new street light, if we all believe it's in an appropriate location, is to, have a public hearing pursuant to town law 202B, and notify the neighbors, put public notice in the paper, and if it was deemed appropriate, then we would approve the new street light being added to the district. But last year and the year before, I worked very closely with NYSEG in changing all our streetlights out to LED. And in doing so, I came across a problem that we do need to address. First, the location that we are looking to put this streetlight isn't actually in our lighting district. And that is because, and I have no idea how we got to where we are. So that I find my paperwork. I provided the town board with a map that our new associate in the planning department knocked off for me in very short order.
Great. Very happy to hear that.
You want to zoom in on it? And this is basically what the town of Patterson lighting district looks like. It's kind of a hodgepodge of parcels,
Yeah.
all kind of around the hamlet area. And I've also provided the town board with a list of lights. As you can see over the years, the town has been adding streetlights to various locations. We've got them on 164, we've got them on 22, 311. We have them on Birch Hill Road, we have them on Collingwood Road, Filler, Denan, all being paid for by the lighting district, which is just a blue, even though basically the whole town is benefiting. So what I would like to propose to the town board tonight is, before we actually add a street light, which we really can't do because the property is not in the lighting district, that we consider changing the boundaries of the Patterson lighting district to incorporate all of the town parcels not currently in the Putnam Lake lighting district, which we have the paperwork on. We know exactly where the Putnam Lake lighting district is. That was done in 1964, and we know very clearly where the boundaries are. But basically, all the rest of the properties in the town of Patterson are benefiting from the streetlights we have, which enhances the public safety as they're driving on the streets. And yet there's only a very few people paying that charge. Now, how this is going to fiscally impact everybody who is not in the district, it would probably result in somewhere, we haven't done the numbers yet, but I would guess around a $15 charge on your tax bill.
A year?
A year.
Especially since you're breaking it down across such a large group of people.
Yeah. I mean, and because of the LED, I've also provided the board with what we've been budgeting every year. As you can see, those numbers are now going down. So the cost is even less than what it would have been 4 or 5 years ago.
Very reasonable.
But what I'd like everybody to consider and weigh in on is whether this should be done more fairly across the broader spectrum of people who are benefiting, because we have streetlights on Big Elm that really only the people in the hamlet are paying for.
Just a separate type question. The NICEC, what, sends the town one bill or whatever, and then the town puts it on these folks' tax bill?
Well, not exactly. I mean, we budget for it, and that, that budgeted amount gets broken down into a rate, which then gets applied to everybody who is currently listed as being in the lighting district. So you see that charge on your bill, that creates the pot of money that the town holds, the account, and then we draw off of that to pay the electric bills. Even within this map, though, there's discrepancies that just don't make any sense. I mean, Burton Farm Road, we've got 5 or 6 of the properties on Burton Farm Road in the lighting district, and the lighting district goes all the way around it, but the last few properties aren't in it. We've got some properties on Burdick Road that, are not paying currently. And then if you look at the map, we've got this one little parcel all the way out in the middle of the great swamp near Pine Island that's somehow in the lighting district paying a charge.
Wow.
But it's not near anything.
I can't even see the light from where they are.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense why the parcels that we've been billing for years, why we're billing them. So
It sounds like it's a perfect opportunity to clean up a problem that's existed for years. Pretty simply.
So would the board support changing the boundaries within the town of Patterson for the Patterson Lighting District to encompass all the properties not in the Putnam Lake Lighting District.
Just be prepared. You're gonna get a lot of requests from people. Now that they're in the district and paying the bill, they're gonna say, I want a street light out in front of my house. That's the one thing that's definitely gonna happen, you watch.
Yeah.
And I'm all for streetlights. I think the safety,
Once they're
traffic
shielded
safety as well
properly,
as safety of your house for
Yeah.
normal purposes. But also too, I think we have there's a lot of lights around town that I really don't understand why they're even there. I have one right in front of my house. It's a cul-de-sac. You know, a private development like that, I think
Yeah.
everyone has their own lights on their houses, and I think that's sufficient. I don't know why there's actually two lights in my
You know,
development.
Pete, you bring up a really good point though, because along some of the more traveled corridors, what you don't want is people putting lights on their houses to try to light up in front of their house by the street, because you get a lot of interference for driving. You want those good quality lights that are shielded, that are downlighting, that are, you know, meant for not blinding people, because, you know, you drive down streets and you see where people have these, you know, very bright lights shining out into the street to try to light up their front, you know, so it goes both ways. But I think having good lighting, I mean, again, you're much more knowledgeable about this than I am in terms of the traffic safety committees and stuff of what appropriate lighting is and not. And I think this, in that regard, having good lighting where you need it.
I just had a question. At the end of the list, there was, it seems like the whole list is in alphabetical order, and then there's like a separate list at the end there.
Good catch.
Are they the non-Cobra heads or?
Yes, that's it exactly. They're the shoebox lightings or
Now-
the architectural lightings.
Were most of them from like private developments, and then they were made public, the
Yes.
road was made public?
We
Is
had
that
a
what-
lot of the shoebox lights back in the day on even subdivisions on the public roads, you remember?
But that's what he's
Yeah, but they're
saying
they're
is they
antiquated at this
were,
point.
yeah,
right?
at one point, the planning board was trying to get away from the Cobra heads because they thought they were ugly. So new subdivisions coming in, they were looking for shoebox lighting,
Shoebox, yeah.
which we actually cost us a little bit more because we had to put it in a different rate service classification. And then there are some like on your street that are really just architectural lights.
Yeah.
That don't fit in any category, but, you know, nice things, you know, doing the maintenance on them.
Are they LED or are they the regular?
We have not changed out the shoebox or the architectural lighting to LED yet, because those heads are ours. We have to maintain them. So we're gonna have to pay, whereas with the LED lighting, nicely changed out all the Cobra heads.
Another issue might be they are in residential developments. So if the LEDs are brighter, it might be
I was very concerned about that when we were changing out the LEDs and took great pains to try to make sure that we didn't make things, you know, so bright in areas. And, you know, knock on wood, I haven't had any complaints yet, but, you know, changing to LED. I will tell the board though that when I was going through the whole list of lights, because I went one by one through every light in the town, located it, made sure it was there, made sure it was appropriate. And there were some lights that just didn't make sense to me, their location, and I would contact the property owners and say, listen, there's a light outside your house. You know, I don't really see the benefit as far as road safety. Would you mind if we took it away? Everybody wants those lights there. You know, they've gotten used to them. They like them for security. So even though it might not make sense to me as far as a road safety issue, you know, the people do want the lights there.
yeah, it's hard to take them away once they're there.
Oh, yeah. You know, and, you know, especially in the Putnam Lake area, we've gotten more requests over there to add more streetlights, even though there's streetlights everywhere.
Also be careful what you wish for sometimes, because those street lights can be pretty bright sometimes at night.
Oh, yeah.
Some good curtains and shades. Of Yankee Stadium in your yard.
So would we address this issue at next budget time?
No. As a matter of fact, I want to try to move on it really quickly if the board gives the nod to doing it, because we would like to get it on the tax rolls, which really needs to be done between March and May, preferably by March, so that it would hit next year's tax bill,
Okay.
Makes sense.
because we're looking a year out.
Yeah, I meant the same thing.
Okay.
I just didn't want to surprise anybody.
Yeah.
They get some kind of bill, what is this now, you know? So we have to form the district, expand the district
Yes,
first.
yes.
So,
Requires a public hearing.
It requires a lot of work on our part, including a public hearing, yes, filing with the controller.
so if we expand it, then like Sean's saying, we may have more requests for more lighting. Will eventually, we're saying $15 increase, but as we start adding more lights, it could go up.
So let me ask you, do you know if you're in the lighting district or not? Have you
I
ever
see
looked at
I'm-
your tax bill?
I see I'm not, according to the map.
Because I just always assumed I was in the lighting district, Patterson Lighting District encompassed the whole town. And, I was surprised when I went back and checked my tax bill and there's nothing on it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Especially when
don't,
you turn out of here and you go down 311 or on 22 and you're enjoying the benefits of the
Yeah.
lighting.
Mhm.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think that, if we do this, people are going to see a $15 charge maybe on their bill. They're not going to worry about the $15 charge. They're going to be worried about, the $400 charge in sanitation or, the bigger bills. So I don't think we're going to get a lot more requests, but, we may get requests and maybe they're appropriate. We'll take them one at a time and, we'll try to do the best for our residents.
And there's a lot involved in a street light. It's not just like, oh, I want a street light. Okay, we'll put one up for you. There's a lot involved, right?
Oh, yeah, trying to decide the appropriate lumens, the appropriate style, location.
If it's appropriate for the location.
Well, the request that we did get, actually, it is very dark over there. And you could go right past that road without the light being there, So I think that definitely needs a light there.
One place I still think is very dark, and it's actually for the commercial businesses, the entrance of Tractor Supply and Acme, the shopping center. That entrance, that whole area is so dark
Yeah,
that I always feel like
it's a terrible intersection.
but yeah,
Begin with.
it's just not well lit. And I think Rich and I talked about this over the last couple of years. I think we could probably figure something out for that just demarcates that intersection more, not that I'm saying we get horrendous accidents there, but it is a busy intersection.
Yeah,
Well, maybe as part of this, we take a look at it and put a street light there.
I think
Now-
a big, go ahead, Charlie.
Excuse me. How do we help these people who are requesting the street?
Exactly what we're doing. This is the first step.
So they have to wait until we go through this whole process?
Couple.
Again, knowing that they're actually not in a district, she's not being charged. The intersection she's looking for isn't within the boundaries of a district. I don't think we have the ability to move forward on her request without expanding the district, one way or the other.
But as you said, it was 2 years ago that it was basically removed. And so if we can get this done in the next couple of months, that's pretty.
I'm saying our records show there was never a light there.
No, I know, but I don't doubt Sue Curtis that there was a light there and, just it wasn't on the records, but there's a lot of stuff like that, sometimes too, there are lights. For instance, I know there used to be one up in front of the old Burdick dairy farm that they paid for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
For years and years, and it was like $7 a month. It was just a simple NICEAG charge that they paid for the light, and it was just lit up the intersection because that's where they would presumably walk across the street every morning and go to milk the cows, and so it was just something they paid for. But I think when the next owner, it's not there anymore, and I think it's because the next owner just didn't want to pay the bill, or maybe didn't want to, but decided not to, so it's gone now.
Well, they're not milking cows anymore.
That's right. Cows are all dead. They're all gone. They're all hamburgers now.
That was barn's not even there anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so what's your pleasure?
I'm okay to move forward.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot of legwork, so it's not tonight.
All right, Jamie, you're gonna have to take a look at this and kind of help me out with the roadmap, and I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
And Trish, we're gonna need some numbers from you. I know, I'm sorry, but, you know, I've already got Amanda working on a list of property owners that would potentially, you know, be affected by this. Now we've got to figure out what the cost's gonna be. Okay, moving on. I have a couple of resolutions here someplace. The first one is a resolution for the renewal of the agreement with the Patterson Fire Department #1. I'd like to ask that this resolution be entered into the minutes as though read. Can I get a second? All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
The second resolution is a fire protection contract. Oh, where is it? A resolution for the renewal of the agreement with the Putnam Lake Fire Department for the 2021 season, or 2021 year. Again, I'd like to ask that this resolution be entered into the minutes as though read. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I believe we have two pieces of other business really quickly. One is we've received a memo from our controller. There are 4 people, actually there are 5. We're not doing Joe Gaglione tonight.
She wrote the memo.
Okay, all right. So there are actually 5 people. We've got 4 tonight that the individuals themselves were not listed within our budget. So their rates were not adjusted for the 2021 budget. We received a memo from our town controller, who has been working with Matt Jabbar, our recreation director, who has provided recommendations on the recommended increase in rates for the 2021 year. Does anybody have any questions on this? All right, I'd like to move that we increase the recommended, the pay rate for the individuals listed for the rates recommended by our town controller on her memo dated January 13th, 2021. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The last thing I'd like to recognize is that today we received a recognition for our participation in the Putnam County Memorial Day Convoy from the Putnam County Joint Veterans Council. Dale Kuzak. Meeting over, you want to zoom in? It's always when you're not looking. All right, so I'd really like to thank the Putnam County Joint Veterans Council for their recognition, and they're actually organizing the event. It was an awful year for Memorial Day this year, and recognizing all those soldiers that have fallen in battle with the COVID. All the ceremonies had to be canceled, so this was a great event that they had organized, and it was wonderful to be out here in front of town hall watching the convoy go by. So, thank you to everybody who participated. Anybody else have any other business? All right, I'll open it up to public recognition. Does any member of the public joining us by Zoom tonight have any comments that they wish to make or questions for the board?
No, thank you. Have a good evening.
Evening.
Yeah, if they want to talk, we got 4 others, so, yeah, I let them all know it's on mute, so anybody else, we got 4 others.
Any comments? Questions?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.